This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We'll have a little bit of fun here with some true-false questions based on some of the travelogues that we've made. And if you want to look up more information about the true-false question, we'll refer you to some of the travelogues that we were on. Okay, here comes the first one. True or false? This true-false question is about a poem that I recited in one of the travelogues that we did. And just listen to it, and here's the question. Is the location of this poem at Hudson Bay, where there are polar bears? Okay, here is the poem. There are strange things done in the land of the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Loch Labarge I cremated Sam McGee. Here's the question again. True or false? Is the location of this poem at Hudson Bay where there are polar bears? True or false? What do you think? The answer is false. The polar bears are located over along Hudson Bay in the eastern Arctic, about straight north of Manitoba and Ontario. Now, that poem is in the western Arctic, above Alberta and Saskatchewan, in the Yukon, where the gold rush took place. All right, let's go to the true-false questions. If you want more information about the true-false question, and you want to go back to it and find a little more about it, the key, as I've said before in other videos, the key is to go to the home page. And you can get to the home page of mine a couple of ways. Either you can Google it directly. Here it is down below here, all lowercase, no spaces, and .com at the end. And it is just the same as the title, I Go Travel with Don Barnett. .com. The other way you can find the home page is if you're already in YouTube. In each of the travelogues there, if you click around and look around, you will find a link to the video in the video description section. It'll give you a link directly to the home page as well. All right, let's take a look at some of the true-false questions. Let's just try this first one together. True or false? What do you say? You can watch bears eat salmon in fenced enclosures. Now, I'll just read you the whole statement. You can watch bears eating salmon at the southern tip of the Alaska Panhandle because a fenced enclosure is built over the creek. So how does that sound? True or false? Make your decision. Let's look at the answer. Here is the answer, and it is false. You can watch the bears eat salmon, but the bears are not in any fenced enclosures. They're actually out in the wild. And you can watch them because they've built a walkway high above the creek, and it runs along the length of the creek. And it's an ideal place for watching bears eat the salmon that come into the creek in the fall. If you want to find out more about the bears now or later, you can. The key is to go back to the home page and get oriented, and you can find the home page at the beginning or at the end of this video. And then from the home page, as it says here, click on to Travelogue videos, and they're all in alphabetical order. And go to the area that says Alaska Yukon section and find the video titled about Alaska Highway Shortcut. And that shortcut goes up by the tip of the Alaska Panhandle where the bears are. And there's a great glacier up there as well. Here is the next question. True or false? That big Alaska pipeline was the first one ever built in the north. True or false? What do you say? That statement is actually false. The first pipeline was the Canal pipeline across Canada, and the Alaska pipeline was a more recent one. If you want to find out more about this first pipeline that went across the Canadian North from the Mackenzie River over to Whitehorse, follow the procedures here. Again, the key is to click back to the home page, and then from there, click on to Travelog Videos, and it'll take you to the various ones. You want the section on the Alaska Yukon section, and at the bottom here, and you can find the Canal, the North's first pipeline. This next true-false question is about the Panama Canal. Captains of the ships cannot pilot ships through the Panama Canal. True or false? What do you say? This statement is true. Look at the reading here. The ship captain is replaced by the canal employee pilot while they go through the canal. Now, to find out why, I guess you will have to look at that video. That information is back on the home page, and you can click on it, as it says here, at either the beginning or the end of this video. You go to Travelog Videos, the Panama section, that's the one you want, and the video is Riding Through the Canal. Okay, you can do that, or let's go to another true-false question. Here is the next true-false question. The Alaska Highway was built by the U.S., and black workers from the U.S. were not permitted to work on the Alaska Highway. Is that true or false? What do you think? This is back in World War II time. The answer is false. Black soldiers did work on the Alaska Highway and the Canal pipeline. And this is a picture of them in their bunks up there. Many had never seen snow. You can find out more of this story. Just go to the home page, get reoriented, and click the Travelog videos. Go to the Alaska Yukon section and look for the video about the Canal, the Canadian oil pipeline. Here's another true-false statement. Mules guide ships through the Panama Canal. You run across the strangest things. Well, could this be true or false? What do you think? Let's take a look. The answer is true. The little gray machine down there beside the big boat. Do you see it there? That's called a mule. Now, why is it called a mule? You'll have to see that video, or we can go on to the next true-false question. There's information on these mules if you go to the home page and to Travelog Videos and find the Panama section on the home page and see the video Riding Through the Canal. Otherwise, let's take a look at the next true-false question. True or false? They put polar bears in jail on the shores of Hudson Bay. That's in northern Canada. They're put in jail. Is that true or false? What do you think? This statement is true. They do put them in jail, and there's the jail right here. For more information, if you haven't seen this video yet, go back to the home page, click on the Travelog video section, go down to the Churchill, Manitoba section, and the video is on polar bears. True or false? The Panama Canal accounts for the greatest proportion of the economy in Panama. True or false? You hear so much about the Panama Canal, you would think that the canal would be the main source of the economy in Panama, but that is not true. That is false. The biggest piece of the economy is business, banking, insurance business. It's an international kind of country. If you want to see more of this side of Panama, go to the home page, get reoriented, and click the Travelog videos, and go to the Panama section and look for the video on the skyscrapers. Let's try another true-false question, and here it is. You can swim in underground rivers on the Mayan Riviera. And the Mayan Riviera, of course, is in Mexico. So do you think you can swim in underground rivers there? True or false? What do you say? This is absolutely true. It's a big tourist attraction. There are caverns there. There's very little surface water in the form of lakes and rivers down in that part of the country. You can find more about this part of the country. Again, go back to the home page, click on the travelogue videos, and go to the Mayan Riviera section, like it says here. And at the bottom, the video in that section is Wildlife of Mexico. And that tells you about these underground rivers. Back to Canada, the Klondike Gold Rush in the Yukon was a lawless event, far from civilization, where the individual was the only real law. Do you think that's true or false? Let's find out. This statement is basically false because the Canadian Northwest Mounted Police had things well supervised and under control. For example, Americans could not bring guns across the border and so on. If you want a little more information, I've got a travelogue on this. Go again to the home page, click on travelogue videos, go to the section Alaska Yukon, and look for the video, the Klondike Gold Rush, the Chichaco's Mistake video. There's a couple of videos on the Klondike Gold Rush. And when you look at this one, you might find out also what was the Chichaco's mistake. And how did he correct it? So you don't go up there and maybe make the same mistake. Anyway, you can look at that video if you haven't already seen it. Otherwise, let's go on to another true-false question. This is a pretty easy one if you've seen that travelogue. True or false? Mount Tremblant is the largest ski resort in the Canadian Rockies. True or false? The answer is false, false, false. Mount Tremblant is in the Laurentian Mountains of Quebec, not in the Canadian Rockies, which are out on the western side of Canada. Travelogues in this area are, if you go back to the home page and go to the section there about the Quebec travelogues, and go into the video that says Notre Dame and Mount Tremblant. When they decided on where to build the Alaska Highway, they eventually ended up deciding to follow the line of Canadian airports that had already been established into the north. True or false? What does it sound like? The answer is true. Canada had established a number of airports and they flew into the north long before a road was ever built. Yes, they did build the Alaska Highway, the pipeline, and the airports almost at the same time. If you want more about this story that really opened up the north, go back to the home page, hit the travelogue video section, go to the Alaska Yukon section there, and look up Canal, the first oil pipeline video. All right, we're not talking the north anymore. We're talking Panama Canal. Black workers could not work, were not permitted to work on the construction of the Panama Canal. Do you think that's true or false? What do you say? Give us your answer and let's take a look. This statement is absolutely false. Black workers did work by the thousands, and by the thousands died during the construction of the Panama Canal. The American era of building the canal, go back to the home page, travelogue videos, and go to the Panama section and look for the video U.S. to Modern Era video there. Is this true or false? The U.S. invaded Canada when it was under British control, before Canada became a country. And when that happened, the French colonists, the Francophones, sided with the British against the American invaders. Would that be true? Was that true or false? Who did the French side with? With the Americans or with the British? Again, true or false, U.S. invaded Canada under the British, and the French colonists sided with the British against the Americans. True or false? This is true. The Francophones sided with the Anglophones against the Americans who had invaded Canada and went all the way to Quebec City, to the fortress there. Why did the Francophones side with the Anglophones against the Americans? Well, if you look at the video, go to the home page, Travelog Videos, click on it, go to the Quebec section, and in the Quebec section, look for the video, Quebec City, Downtown, Fortress, and Failed Invasion video. It's a piece of Canadian history that not everybody knows about. Just a reminder, if you want to find anything more about some of those true-false questions, the key, again, is to go to the home page, and you can do that by Googling it, igotravelswithdonbarnett.com, all lowercase, no spaces, and .com at the end. Again, like I said at the beginning, if you're already in YouTube, you can find a video description in each of the travelogues where you can click directly to the home page. I hope you enjoyed some of those true-false questions. Maybe learned a little something that you didn't know before, and we're going to make some more. So hit the subscribe button, and we'll be coming back with more videos. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett.